only been here for a couple of years, but I believe that the school environment is entrenched in the arts.
Well, it's about showcasing your abilities, your creative talent.
Attract students that are committed and dedicated to something, whether it's dance, theater, or their music.
Instrumental, they're in vocal, they're in visual arts, they're in creative writing.
And anytime you can add that to a school, it just, changes the atmosphere of a building.
And I think as a whole, the school comes together and embraces all types of art.
When you see your classmates performing in a play or doing something instrumental, dancing, whatever the talent may be, it just enhances the environment of the whole building.
I never hear people putting down other students because, they didn't like their art versus, saying that one art is better than the other.
More to look forward to in school?
School as a whole has just come to embrace all the different aspects of art.
It provides, students who are used to working hard, who are committed to something that also translates over into being committed to their schoolwork.
It actually helps in the academic place because in the academics it gives us students that are more focused and more interested in school, which helps to increase student enjoyment at the school.
I am not an art person at all, but I find myself being drawn more into the art because of the atmosphere here at SOTA.
I know, right? What's up, James? One of the pieces I was telling her about was a piece that Ramaya Hurd had come up with. She hasn't put it to picture yet, but just a very strong image.
Pro would be that it's something you love, so it's like it's not like doing work.
You can express your creative ability.
You collect everything into like a portfolio when you're done, and then colleges get to look at it and they can see how skilled you are or not.
The way you think projects the way your brush strokes. When you paint, the strokes in your drawing, you know what I'm saying?
The cons are that there's a deadline for everything, so it's really hard to get everything done.
Con would be not finding enough time to do it, like for homework, because we have homework in art, and it's like you have to weigh what should I do for my math homework or my art homework. So sometimes it gets excluded.
The audition process was you had to make a portfolio.
It was easy, to me it was easy. We just had to come in and draw some things that we saw on paper.
Answer questions on like a Scantron thing and draw some things.
A couple responses saying why you would like to be here. I'm pretty sure you think of a lot of reasons why you want to be at school of the arts.
I don't know, teachers made you feel like at home. They weren't like intimidating or anything.
Some specific skills are just certain techniques that I didn't know before.
How do you value when drawing and painting?
He teaches a lot of pen and ink techniques that I didn't know before.
Two-point perspective, that's really helpful, especially in art, trying to figure out how to map out things, and shading, contour shading, stippling.
My favorite project so far is the one that we're doing now, because you age your face in it, and it's actually really fun to do.
One of my favorite projects is the stress project, when you have to basically put yourself in a situation that puts the most pressure on you or makes you feel like there's no way out.
After graduation, I just plan to continue on with visual arts. I think I want to go to college for illustration.
I plan on going to college, hopefully get into NYU for art, visual arts, fine arts.
Well, the pros are that you learn a lot and English classes become super easy. It really prepares you for college because you have to write a lot and you learn how to write a lot and write well and use your words well.
Mr. Craddock and Ms. Ganson are great and they teach us so much, and they both know so much, so we can learn so much from them. And we're exposed to like way more literature than anyone else in the school, so that gives us an advantage.
But the cons are you get no sleep ever.
But definitely the workload would be a con because it's a lot of work, and like none of the other majors have as much work, I don't think. Oh, it's a ton of work, so that's a huge con. I think it's the biggest con because no one else has to do as much work as we do. Like instrumental majors, for example, will never have an assignment outside of school. But for us, like taking 2 English classes on top of the English class we already take.
Sometimes I do kind of get a lot of work for creative writing. Like I'll have a big writing project or a lot of reading to do.
I was really freaked out about it. I like compiled this huge portfolio of like everything I've ever written, which wasn't very much. And I was just so nervous. I remember thinking it was like the most important thing I could ever do, which I don't think it was.
I feel like I might have kind of had a bit of an advantage because I was older than most of the kids that were auditioning with me. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. I felt pretty relaxed with the whole thing.
I was here for like 5 hours, and it lasted forever, and I wrote a lot.
As long as you have like everything that you need to have in your portfolio.
I've learned how to open a story and how to end a story a lot better, and I've kind of grasped the concept of a beginning, middle, and end better. I don't just kind of throw things together anymore.
You learn how to collaborate. You learn how to work with computers and with like technology on the Mac, which is really great.
Well, I've definitely gotten a lot better at reading and writing.
Oh, this year we did this poetry study where we got to choose a poet, and we read like a compilation of their work, and then we did a presentation on it, and I really liked that. The film projects are really cool. They take a lot of work and a lot of like collaboration if you're working with other people, but they're really fun, and usually you come out with something pretty cool.
My favorite project was my photo essay from journalism in my sophomore year. It was the absolute best project. I created my own lighting scheme and did something called material importance. It was really good.
I think creative writing is something that you can really apply anywhere, so yeah, I don't think I'll have a choice. No, but I plan on like using some of the skills that we learned. I want to go into communication.
In some form. I'm going to be a journalist. So I'm majoring in journalism and international relations with a minor in political science. So I want to go into media journalism as well as kind of a little bit of print.
I'm not planning on like majoring in college with creative writing, but I do intend to keep reading and writing after I graduate.
Music and piano, so it's like it expands my knowledge on it. You get to be alone a lot.
It's extremely enjoyable, and playing piano is like a passion. It's something that I enjoy doing.
Mr. Gabriel's an excellent teacher. We have a piano lab with over 20 fully functioning electric pianos.
One bad thing about this major is there's not much like emphasis on piano.
Cons are that, I'm sure every major feels this, we don't get much recognition or flaunt our performances, well, more than other majors, but you know.
It's not a very popular major. There's about 4 people in my grade that are piano majors.
Some of the work can be really hard, and it can take a while to get certain pieces down.
You have to play a couple songs and scales and sight reading so you can see what you can do and stuff.
I just came in and played, and I had to sing, which was awful. But I just came in and played a piece for him.
Probably how to read music is the biggest skill I learned, because I did not know how to read music before I came here.
Technique, different piano techniques.
And how to play scales and stuff better, and how I can like read music more like easier, and that helps me learn music.
Yes, I've already played for a few college professors at various schools.
I hope so. I always wanted to be like a music teacher, so this would help me.
In a way, yeah, I want to continue music.
Definitely.
Well, I'm a piano major in college now, so there's a pretty direct correlation there. In fact, I am a piano major in college studying piano performance because of School of the Arts. I came here and I worked with John Gabriel, the head of the department, and I loved it. He taught me to really love music and be inspired by it. And I just, after spending a couple of years in the piano lab with him, I didn't want to do anything else. So, I mean, really strongly impacted my college choices.
Head up. Boy, why are you crying? So at some point you're going to get that excitement, because what you're on right now is just it's on that one level and you're just chatting. But also it doesn't sound like you're pushing, like
And pros are the recognition of like when you're in a show, everyone comes up to you and they're like, you did great, blah blah blah. So you get all like the glorification of being in a show.
Well, pros could be getting to act out whatever you want to do. Like, for my monologue that I'm doing right now, I'm a psychopath. It's quite fun. I killed 6 people. The knowledge that I'm getting from the teachers, I'm learning so much more than, like, I thought there would be to learn about drama.
Cons? It's a lot of reading and writing, and, like, I kind of didn't really expect that coming in here.
The cons is probably the paperwork that we have to do.
The busy work at the end of the school year when they don't know what else to give us.
The audition process was really nerve-wracking. When I was in there, I was terrified because there were so many people in there, and I didn't know what to do. My heart was pounding, but I was happy that I got through it.
It was really nerve-wracking actually, but I think that's with all audition processes for every major. But they had us kind of sit down and read over a script that they gave us, and then they had us perform it with a partner, and then you had to perform your own monologue. So if you knew your monologue and had it well memorized, you should be fine. So it wasn't that bad.
Well, I re-auditioned to be a drama major in the 8th grade, and I had to memorize a monologue for them, and I didn't perform that for the judges until after I had worked with a partner on a scene and performed that in front of everyone. And we also wrote a Birth to Now, which is a character analysis that we have to do on the character of our monologue.
I took improv, so they told me to never negate, but for drama itself, with acting with another person, you have to be really loud, project, don't scream though, and that's one that I always keep on to, that is really helpful.
How to hone in on a character, being someone who's really happy or someone who's angry, and making it seem realistic.
Some nice project that I like is sometimes we play improv games and stuff.
I really like when we do improv games or working with a scene partner and just doing something acting like an animal and having a scene with a partner where we're 2 different animals in a situation.
Monologues are my favorite because you get to do whatever you want with your own thing. You don't have to really work with anyone that could take you down or show you up or anything, so that's the good thing.
Yes, I would like to continue doing acting after School of the Arts, but I know it's a really hard business, so I'm just going to have to really work hard.
Yes, I think I will continue on with my major. If there's any local shows, I'll probably audition for some, but I don't know if I'm going to do it as devoted as I do now, but probably.
And it's really just what it sounds like. You're making a spiral. You're making a spring. The idea is that you want your weld to look like a stack of quarters on its side that you pushed over. Here we go. Welding! Thank you!
cars that you get to build, so you're not sitting like behind a desk for 2 periods.
You get to work on pretty much every show. Whether or not you're with the production till the end, every night you get to work on every production in the shop. You get to feel like you're part of every show. And you get to learn a whole plethora of skill sets that otherwise you may not really get to have hands-on experience with.
I would say the biggest con of the major is that it's a lot more physical work than any other major, so that can be irritating at times.
You get dirty a lot from painting or from, cutting wood, so, yeah.
Con-wise, sometimes you're kind of the unappreciated member of the team. No one really looks at you that much, and people who do look at you just think you're a guy who hits a nail with a hammer every now and again. But, I think the pros outweigh that. I think it just adds a little bit to your quiet ego.
The audition was kind of intimidating, and it set you up a lot more than the major actually entailed, I think, because you had to do artwork and you had to make a sculpture, which doesn't directly translate in what you do as a theater tech major.
It was pretty easy for me because it was the second time I did it.
It was pretty much you come in, you just talk a little bit with the teachers for a few minutes. They kind of give you some class time as well. They want to just teach you some basic measurement stuff. They give you a couple assignments with scaling with a ruler, and just to give you an idea of not so much can you do it, but if you would try to do it, how you go about it. If you have hit a roadblock, do you ask for help, or do you just have a hezzy fit by yourself? That kind of thing. It's an interesting test that you really don't pick up on when you're in 6th grade, and you kind of figure that out later. Then you have to build something. It's pretty much up to you. I built a footstool with wheels on it that I could put DVDs in, and I thought it was nifty. And a lot of kids have help from their parents. Some kids build birdhouses, some kids build bionicle cars, whatever. The project itself isn't as impressive as how much effort you put into it, how much effort your parents put into it for you, that kind of thing. And then it gives an opportunity to talk to you back and forth one-on-one with the teacher, kind of give a feel of who you are.
Well, I definitely learned how to cut and measure wood. That was a big one. I also learned certain tools that I had to use for certain projects. I learned how to put things together and what some of the terms were called.
I've obviously learned how to use a lot of power tools. I've learned some painting methods. I've learned how to work well with others, how to let others do what they want and then hold your tongue, because sometimes people can be incompetent.
So much stuff in the theater, such as fly systems and just how to operate soundboards, light boards. Then there's just all tools. I mean, so many power tools that you can name, just simple ones, saws and screw guns and stuff. Then you get specialty items like welding, which not a lot of people get a chance to do, and it's a great opportunity for us.
The set for Avenue Q was pretty fun because there was a lot more cartoony aspects, and lots more creativity for the set builders.
Favorite projects? Doing shows, big main stage musicals. Avenue Q was great because we had a strict time constraint, because we had to get it ready for a TV show, and it was all hands on deck. We got it pushed out really fast, and it was a beautiful set. Usually main stage musicals or big, do something really fast, and because we have a production soon, are my favorites.
Definitely building Peter Pan was really fun, and building Avenue Q, because they were both really different in the way that we had to set it up and the way that we had to put it together, but it mainly taught how to do things that, will help later on.
I plan to either go into architecture or engineering, so there'll be some aspects of the major in what I do in college or later in life, but not directly into theater.
Yeah, I'm actually looking into doing something in that line of, building and stuff, because it's really fun.
Believe it or not, yes. I've been accepted to Pace University. I'm a theater tech and design. Majoring in lighting design in particular in New York City, so I'm very excited for that.
Pros would be,
else. I like having it every day. Problem with the cons, though, is sometimes some parts of the orchestra won't be as serious as they could be, and we're kind of undermined with funding sometimes a lot, and we've switched teachers about 4 times in the last couple of years, so that's definitely a con, and kids need practice.
Con, you have to rely on everybody, so everybody has to step in, so you can't be any weak links.
Well, one, you have to dedicate about an hour a day, or less, depending on what you play, to practice each day. That takes a lot of time out from your schedule.
At first, it was all serious and stuff. It kind of scared me for a bit, because it was Mr. Gabriel at first, and everybody, you know, like, he gets the evil eye and, like, all serious and stuff, so it was kind of nervous, but after you got, like, talking with all the kids who were doing the other auditions, you got actually through it. It was fun.
It was very slow. It was, had to do some simple scales and then play a piece of music that you chose. So.
Well, when I first got here, there was like a line all the way back to Prince Street. So, I mean, it's pretty long. But the actual audition part was actually pretty quick. Played an audition piece, and then I just sight read a little bit, and then played some scales.
I've learned to improvise. I've learned jazz music. I've never played that before. I've never played in a band before. I got school, so.
Piano definitely.
I learned how to dedicate myself. Had to dedicate myself to my instrument. Good practicing habits, good studying habits, ethics.
Freshman year, I had fun doing the convention center. I love doing the plays in the pit. I like switching around on instruments a lot of the time.
I really like the piece that we played for Philadelphia. We actually got 2 golds, so that was good. That means that we basically won, for lack of a better term.
When we go into the end of the year concert was my favorite concert ever, because you get that sticky lips and we get to see everybody perform and the band play.
Definitely. I'm looking at U of R right now, DePaul University, Manhattan School of Music, Berkeley School of Music. They're all my top 5.
Yeah, right now I am studying for the auditioning for colleges.
I plan to use it as a fallback for you in case what I actually want to do is when we work out.
Pros are that when you are in the mood to dance, it's a great thing because you just get to like come to school every day and just have fun in the morning, and you get to learn, and your teachers are great, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a fun thing to do in the morning.
Well, definitely the pros are you get to come to school and dance every day. You come in the morning and you do what you love to do, and I think that is such a privilege that a lot of people probably take for granted, but I feel so privileged every day walking in here and going to dance class, and you know, sometimes you don't want to wake up and you don't want to be moving and you're really tired, but once you start dancing it's so great and you don't want to leave.
I'd say pros, first off, there's no homework.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of, you make a ton of friends, and there tends to be deeper connections. It tends to be deeper connections because you're working physically with other people instead of just talking.
I guess some cons are just like the classroom, the atmosphere in the classroom. Sometimes people don't take it as seriously as other people, so that's like a hard learning environment. I know personally for me, I've come here for the past 6 years to learn and to be a better dancer, and sometimes people just, they want to sit down and they don't want to work as hard, but overall it's been a great experience for me.
You have to get up every morning and you still have to dance. So even if you're like really tired that day or like you don't have any energy, you still have to do it. You have to get up and dance in the morning, which could be really difficult, but I think it's worth it. It can also be hard to work sometimes with other people. Like we've had a lot of trouble choreographing this year with other people, just not getting along. But in the end, it's a really great program.
know, that was such a long time ago, but basically we came in, we had to do a modern class, so like a modern combination and some stretching, a ballet class where we did some exercises at the bar, and they just wanted to see if you were flexible and like your coordination.
Then you have to come in and we call it the solo room, and everyone just shows off what they've made up for that time.
Really nerve-wracking. It was, I think there were 3 different classes that we took. We took a modern ballet and then we did a solo. It was really, I had never done dance before at all in my life, so I had no idea what to expect. I've only done Irish dance previously before I came here, so I'd never done ballet or modern or tap or anything. So it was just a brand new experience for me, but it was really exciting.
I've definitely learned a lot of like technique skills just for dance, and then I've also learned ways to like work with each other, like work with other people, and how to just create something that's from yourself. Like you get to show off who you are, and that's how you show it through your movement.
I think the most beneficial definitely would be choreographing and working with people. At this school, you have such a great opportunity from the first day you get here to create your own dance. And I think that is something so great about this program, is that you not only learn dance steps, you learn how to do ballet and jazz and modern and tap, and you learn certain steps that you need to create a dance, but then you actually get to work with your peers and create choreography. And I've had the pleasure of choreographing for a showcase many years and dance concert 3 years in a row now, so definitely choreography and how we learn about that.
I learned pretty much styles of all types of dance, like the basic techniques for dancing, and I learned how to perform, how to present yourself, how to act like you're not nervous even when you are.
I will be studying dance at Brockport next year, so I plan on continuing.
Sort of, not really. I'm not going into college for dance or anything like that, but I definitely want to take like dance classes when I'm out, because it's going to be different like going from dancing every single day to like not dancing at all. So I want to be in like a dance club or something, but I'm not going into that major.
I plan to keep dancing, although not professionally and not for money, basically. So it's just like we're not very organized, and not a lot of people are that dedicated to it.
I would say, I think us getting to know one another is a pro. Like, we work with each other so often that it just becomes like second nature that you can fall back on that person, singer.
I would say a pro, like the teacher, he helped us gain confidence in singing in front of other people and foreign language songs. I never thought I'd be doing foreign language.
Oh yeah, you really learn how to roll your R's and stuff like that.
Bro, very easy, but it's very hard to challenge myself, you know, vocally. Hardest part was music theory and like piano.
Cons, people with bad days that don't want to work.
Oh, bad attitude.
Yeah.
It's a very emotional class.
It wasn't what I expected. It was, came in and it was kids everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a chance to get in. Then came in this room here. Oh, this is the choir room, and you got put in groups. Then you sing a song together, start a song, you sing together, and then you come in here by yourself. And it was Miss Madison and Mr. Martinez who were here. And you sing in front of them, and they were just like, okay. Like, I didn't even finish my song.
It was really easy. But, it was like, it was really long and boring.
Scary.
Very long. I didn't get a chance to sing my second song. I sang.
They had us rehearse a song that they wanted us to sing, and a song that we could sing. So we rehearsed all of that, and then we came to do it. It was like, oh, you don't need to sing your second song. So I was like, oh, okay. But the stuff on the audition, we didn't know. They asked us to sight read music, and I've never done that before, so I didn't do that. They just had me sing.
Very scary.
I learned how to work well with others in a choir, and learned how to blend my voice, and I learned how to read sheet music a lot better.
Sight reading.
Crescendo.
I learned how to what is it? The opposite of tone deaf, I should say. I hear a tone and I can just sing along with it. I don't have to, kind of learn music. I can just sing it now.
I learned how to sight read.
And I don't have stage fright anymore. That's gone.
Confidence.
Confidence was a big thing.
The Disney medley.
Yeah, Disney medley was amazing. We did that yesterday in our final concert. Yeah, the Disney medley was definitely. Oh, and then when we did when Miss Madison is here, the Swing Low feature.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. The upperclassmen. Yeah.
My favorite projects are to learn musical theater and classical pieces.
Not like this. I don't plan to go to school for this. I don't plan to continue it like that. But I always think like,
I said no from the get-go, but Mr. Lawrence, shout out, he had kind of gave me, I don't know, it was kind of a spark for me wanting to do music, so that's why I continue to play on the piano, write songs. I'm going to learn how to play the guitar, hopefully the next 2 weeks, so I think I'm going to do something with myself. I don't know yet.
I'm going to continue to sing in church and join the choir at RIT. I want to thank my mom, my dad, Mr. Gabriel, Mr. Lawrence, and everybody else
What she said.
who encouraged me to come this far.
Shout out to El Money.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I plan on making my family's music studio in music school.
You are gone, you might ask yourself why. Baby, you will. I may